Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of trend lines. This is standard 8.5D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 31 of the 2025 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we are going to use our grid paper here, and I find when we're trying to draw lines, that small grid size is going to be most likely the best. And what I want to do is I want to take my values and just copy them up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a trend line, and I don't want to have to be scrolling up and down. So the trick is you just kind of take this and you write these over on the side, and then when you scroll back up, they're still there for you. All right, so we are looking at the scatter plot here. And we're trying to find the best prediction of the value of y when x is 10. So x is going to be 10, which is very close to the end of our scatter plot, so that's helpful. So let's draw a trend line. And so what we're looking at when we're dealing with the trend line is we're wanting to find a line of best fit where about half of the data points are above and about half the data points are below. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I've got about 18, and there are some that are clearly going to be above. So I'll say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we could do a 6 and a 7, and then an 8 and a 9. All right, so that might work because I'm looking at the other ones. These are definitely below. So let's get this to a different color here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get a line of best fit here. Let's take a look at our answer choices. So our answer choices, I'm going to use this add point feature, and I will make them red. All right, so we're looking for the value of y when x is 10. So everything is going to be on this 10 value. It's 10, and we've got lines that it doesn't go exactly through 10, so it might be a hair past 10, but that's gonna be fine. So we're looking at 6.5, so that's gonna be right there between 6 and the 7. We'll put it right there. Oh, that was an 11. Let's do that. All right, so sometimes you make the wrong one. You can't really erase. I'm just gonna draw a little back through there. There we go. So let's look at 10. So 10 is gonna be way up here. That first one looks a little bit low. The second one looks a little bit high. Let's look at 12.5. Ooh, that's a lot higher. So my y value, it stops counting at 12, but that line above that kind of acts as the boundary is actually going to be 13. So I could just put it right there between the two. And then I've got an 8. Okay, so 8 is right there. I don't actually have a grid line that goes right on 8, so it's actually probably the farthest away from any of these we want it to actually be. Let's add red, more of right here. But these grid lines are small, but they're not perfect. They don't line up with our graph. All right, so that at least gets us a start. I'm going to use green, and I'm going to use a connect line. And what I want to do is I want to start, it's not necessarily going to have to be at the origin. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a line that goes right in between, doesn't have to touch any of them actually, where I had my 9 above and my 9 below. And so you notice my trend line does kind of split my data in half. And kind of like what we were thinking, this definitely looks the best, this 8 right here. So this 6.5 is much too low. And obviously 10 is at least something to look at. It does look too high. We can easily get rid of that 12.5. That's much too high. But with our trend line and with just visually look at it, it does look like our answer is going to be D, 8.